So here's a small project I worked on. I'm working on a lot of smaller projects, practicing using different components and the Arduino to work towards my ultimate goal of building an indoor vegetable garden control system. So in that system, I'll monitor humidity levels and moisture levels and different things like that, light levels, and I'll control when the plants get watered and stuff like that using the Arduino. So in this project, all I did was I used an IR distance sensor to control, based on distance, these lights, these LEDs incremented up or down, and the frequency of this little buzzer went up or down. And to do that, I used a shift register. You can see in here, and it's down underneath these wires. And what that allows me to do is just from one output to the board, from the board, it allows you to control 8 outputs to these LEDs. And in your code, you just need to output a decimal value, and the corresponding binary values for these LEDs will come on. And that makes it a lot easier because you don't need to control all of these individual lights in your code, and you free up space on your board. You don't have to use 8 output pins for each one, for all of these. So how I did this is, in my code, I just used an array of values, possible values for these LEDs that would turn them up or down, like if I wanted them all on or all off or in between. And I monitored the values I was getting from my distance sensor. I was just printing it to the interface in Arduino, the software. And I was getting between like 300 and 700 for my readings, my analog readings I was getting from my sensor. So using a minimum and maximum value, I mapped that range to the length of my array. And that's how I was able to map those values. And based on the value I was getting from my sensor, it would choose a value in my array, and then it would output the corresponding binary to these LEDs and turn them up or down. So this will be helpful for me in my future project, because instead of LEDs, I could connect relays to these outputs. I could control 8 relays, and that'll be really helpful to control bigger appliances and stuff like that. And I'll discuss that in a different video where I talk about my relay project. But I'll go ahead and demonstrate this project in the next video.